The food always tastes better. The ride home was usually a little shorter when you went on the road, and Campbellsville did just that today, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It was a hard-fought win, ugly, but it was much like a game one. Which 27 days off. That's the way we looked, and that's the way we felt like we would be coming into the game. That Bethel team's a team we haven't seen on film. The way they played today, they were much more aggressive, much more confident. I don't know if it was they were fired up thinking if they brought it to us early with us having such a layoff that would make a difference, or if it was just a divisional game. But they came out and got after us, and I thought our guys responded well by finding a way to win, but it wasn't a pretty win.
Campbellsville wins in overtime 43-37. Coach, your team scored the last 16 points, including overtime, to win this one today. It was sheer determination there, it looked like.
Yeah, they had to fight. We blew some opportunities, missed a field goal earlier, had a field goal blocked for a touchdown, which very rare do you see that. Excuse me. And then, we wound up having to get a field goal at the end of the game after they had the turnover, which would have been nice to, get a score there. But they found a way to win. They kept the faith, and they kept believing and kept working. And, defensively, we would get a stop when we needed one, and offensively, we would get a first down when we needed one. So, all hats off to our team for fighting and finding a way to get a road win after 27 days off.
6 lead changes, 2 ties today. Your team found itself down a couple of times by 10 points. And I think you said earlier this week that you know how you felt about your team getting back to action today, maybe at the end of the game. And,
right.
And how do you feel about that now?
Well, I feel like we still got a lot of stuff to do. But, the big thing I was telling Coach Garris during the game is we just got to play.
Right.
I mean, we need to play games. There's so much practice you can do, but you can't mimic that game. And we needed to play a game, and we need to keep playing now to play catch up a little bit, because they were certainly in midseason form, and we were like coming out of camp. But I feel good about our guys. They keep working, and they keep finding ways to win. And we're 3-0. Heck, that's better than being 0-3.
And you're 1-0 in the Bluegrass Division. That's very critical there as well.
Yes, that's huge. It sets you up for to continue to stay on the undefeated side, and it makes every game that much more important.
Campbellsville wins 43-37 in overtime. The ball came free from the center to the tailback exchange. In this case, Tay Davis could not stretch high enough to get it. B.J. Pelt came away with that fumble recovery. It was a scramble to get it. He got it.
Yeah, and that was huge. Obviously, tough break for them. But we've had those tough breaks too, so I don't feel bad at all for them. But they've been running that set, and sometimes we defensed it really well. But they were getting 2-3 yards oftentimes, and that ball just happened to go over his head. And BJ came flying in there. Fortunately, it was been nice if he scooped in and scored. But just to get on it gave us a big break, because at that point we were out of timeouts. So now I think that was 3rd down. So we would have probably got the ball back, but it would have been with a long field.
It was a great day individually for Keanu Young. He set a couple of personal bests today. He got you off to a good start, I thought.
Yeah, we spoke early in the first quarter. You could see him getting going, and it was a couple of routes we were running for him they weren't covering. And, we was like, he's going to have a tremendous day, and they never did pick it up, and he just kept making plays. And I think he was plus 200 maybe, something like that, which is phenomenal.
Game ball today, going maybe to the defensive line on that 4th and 1 stand there in the overtime?
Well, we're going to give it to the team. We're going to give it to the team, because, they really found a way to get the win. But, on that 4th and 1, and it was a short one too. Yeah. And they're some big boys, and we just ran a pinch front with a 4-man front, actually, and stacked the box up with 8 in the box, basically 10 with our corners in there tight, and came away with a big play. And, at that point, you knew we was going to score in overtime. I didn't think we would run it in. I thought we'd have to kick a field goal, but Chance came up with that big run off that counter and scored, and the celebration began.
43-37, Campbellsville wins in overtime. Coach, your team was down 37-27 with less than 5 minutes to go, right, and you had 1 timeout remaining. It was crunch time down there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we've been there before. And fortunately, we've had success in those games at the end, managing them and finding ways to get wins over the last 10 years, and it played out to our favor today. And the big thing about it, our team, you could tell it was game 1, so to speak. They had a lot of. At times we had high energy. At times we were pouting, different things like that. And but at that point, when we were down at 10 points, there was no doubt in their mind we were going to win. And that's a huge deal, That's a huge deal, because it's easy to stand over there and get that defeatist attitude and drop your head and, just go ahead and say we lost the game. But they felt like we was going to win it, and they celebrated afterwards because they came back and won the game.
Well, rightfully so.
Yes, sir.
Campbellsville wins 37-37, the score at the end of regulation, and it's a Chauncey Goodman run, 20 yards. And wow, what a performance by Chauncey to finish that run.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, that was huge. We're just trying to set up the field goal. So we're an aggressive offense, as you know, and we said we're not going to throw it. We're just going to run it a few times off tackle and up inside and try to get down to the 20 or so, 15, see if we can get a good field goal kick for Bradley. And, he just happened to break that. I think that was a third down, too, and he just happened to break it. And, we was over what we need to get to, and he'd start breaking it. And it was like, he's going to score. He's going to score. So, we said skip that sport. I think I pulled a quad, too, celebrating.
Well, you're in a hurry to get out to that east end zone.
Yes, sir.
Well, now, I thought that somewhere in the second half, maybe to start the second half, you started going to that run a little bit more. Today, Wade Holsclaw, 95 yards. Chauncey had 112 yards. Big day on the ground today.
Yeah, it was a big day, and we had a game plan actually to come in and run the ball more. Actually, we wanted to run our jet a little bit more. But their D-line, interior D-line played better than they had all year. And, big 92 and a couple of those guys, they were making sacks. So we feel like if we could hit them with the run some, that would loosen it up to open up some time for Hunter to make some passes, which came into play as the game went on.
Well, you go from here to home next Saturday night. It'll be a night game with Kentucky Christian at Finley Stadium. That's another step for you. It's only going to be game 4, even though it'll be in October next week.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to get home. We haven't been home since August 24th. So not only have we not played for 27 days, we haven't been home for the entire month of September. So it'd be nice to get home and our fans get to come see us. And it's a night game. The atmosphere is going to be nice, and we're undefeated. So, high school football go on Friday night. Nobody else is in town playing on Saturday but us.
Come on out and see the Tigers play on Saturday night. What do you know about this Kentucky Christian team besides they're probably pretty good?
Yeah, I don't know much about them. They got a new head coach this year, Corey Phipps. He's from the Faulkner background. He was down there when they had the a couple of really stout quarterbacks and putting up high numbers. He coached with Hal Mummy at Belhaven for a while, so he's been around the country at different divisions for a long time, and I know they'll do a good job. We'll start breaking them down tomorrow.
Well, Coach, we'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you.
Congratulations on this.
Yes, sir. Great win.
We'll let you enjoy that for a few hours. The bus ride back. Campbellsville wins in overtime today. McKenzie, Tennessee over Bethel, 43-37. The Tigers move to 3-0 on the season. More importantly, 1-0 in the Bluegrass Division of the Mid-South Conference. It's Bethel falling to 1-4 and 0-1 in the Bluegrass Division of the MSC. Stay connected. We'll talk more Tiger football, full game stats, plus the overtime numbers coming up here in just a moment. As we say, you're following the Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.